joined by MVP, my boy, the third man, Alexis. You can
Number
follow
three.
all of us. Yeah, number 3. You can follow us on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. We're on all that. We're on every audio platform as well. Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon, all the good stuff. So follow us on everything. Comment what you like, what you don't like. I'm out of breath already just from talking. So we're going to do a little bit of different episode. We're not going to do a recap. We thought it'd be cool to just talk about how we all got into wrestling. I got a couple top 5 lists that I'm going to spring on you guys, no notes, see what you guys think. And then we'll do the pay-per-view game, and then we'll go from there. So let's start with MVP. How you doing?
I'm doing all right, man.
Good.
Good.
How's your week?
Well, traveling, vacation, eating.
That's what I was going to get at. You were in Vegas. You were all over the country here.
Yeah, vacation, man.
How about you, third man? What you been doing?
MVP living the good life over there.
Yeah.
Trying
It
to.
wasn't no Crusher Fest, but it was Vegas in Arizona.
Oh yeah. No Crusher Fest this weekend, unfortunately. I'm just doing my damn thing here in Milwaukee, working on moving into a new place.
Yeah.
So we got to be out by the end of the month. Houses are sold, so been pretty busy with that. But I had a good weekend, and ready to talk some wrestling.
There you go. So, like I said, no notes or anything. We're just gonna BS this episode. Just a lot of conversation. People like to listen to that, right? So, let's start with MVP. When did you get into wrestling? What attracted you to wrestling?
Well, I grew up in Chicago, fairly poor. So I just remember my mom would have whatever channels that we could, with the antenna. And I don't know, Saturdays would be wrestling. I remember like obscure names like Roadblock on the TV.
You're watching Saturday night on WCW.
Yeah. Yes. So I moved to the suburbs in 5th grade, and that's where I meet you. And 5th grade.
That's an eternity ago.
And that's where we're talking 97, 98. So we're deep into the heart of the Monday Night Wars, and that's what anybody in our class was talking about, wrestling. You included. And at the time I didn't watch it, and I do believe you did make fun of me for not liking wrestling. So
which now people make fun of us because we watch wrestling, but anyway.
Yeah. So to fit in, to try to make some friends, I start. It's on a Monday. I'm watching Nitro, and then I see Diamond Dallas Page. So I'm like, oh. The next day, yep.
Bang.
Yeah. Self high five.
The next day at school, just like with this new knowledge that I know, oh, DDP, Diamond Dallas Page. I go up to you, I'm like, hey, Trav, hey, Lucky, what's, you know what DDP stands for? You're like, Diamond Dallas Page.
I do remember all that. That's good times.
Crashing down. But, just, I was a WCW guy, NWO, that just, like, hooked me in. I remember getting an NWO shirt for my birthday one year, and I wore that thing damn near every day.
Yeah, until there's holes in it, and
or
until the Wolfpack came out, then you changed it to red and black. But
yeah. So, I mean, if I look deep in my piles of junk, I'm probably sure I can see it. I probably have it somewhere.
I'm not going to embarrass you, however, because this is a gangster move, by the way. 5th grade Alexis, right? He comes to my birthday party.
Oh!
Full Sting face paint.
Here now.
Sting face paint, white and black. And I'm like, hell yeah, like Sting, bro. And my sister had said something, I don't know. She's like 8 years old, and he put her in a Scorpion Deathlock. Sting face paint.
I'll embarrass myself. Everybody at that party was laughing at me.
Yeah.
All right. We're knee deep in NWO, and then all of a sudden you hear this noise coming from the WWF, The Rock, and that hooked me to start watching the. I would watch. I would watch Raw, but I would put a tape in the VCR to watch to record Nitro.
Mm-hmm.
But then I figured out like a couple hours after Raw would leave the air, they would replay Nitro.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd be up late every Monday just watching both brands, and I loved it.
Yeah, no, same here. But I did it different. I would watch Nitro live. I'd record Raw. So when Nitro was over, I'd watch my recording of Raw, and then I'd watch the replay of Nitro. So I'm like nonstop Mondays.
Yep.
So what about you, Alexis? What brought you into wrestling?
Honestly, what brought me into wrestling was my dad. My dad and my Uncle Jr., big wrestling fans. My dad would actually get tickets from his job. He would win raffle tickets and stuff like that, and took me to some wrestling events. And he was the cable man. So back in the day, we had something called the Hot Box, which was a cable box. For those of you who don't know, it's a cable box that basically had all the channels.
Spice.
Yeah. including it had 2 pay-per-view channels,
Deep cut,
and then it had the Spice channel, but the Spice channel was always blurry. So all you could do was just hear the audio, but you couldn't watch the video.
Before you finish, I used to watch pay-per-views like that because I didn't have money to buy the pay-per-view.
The squiggly lines.
The squiggly lines, but I'd listen.
Yeah.
And that's when I watched Bash at the Beach '96, and I'm listening. I'm like, Hulk Hogan's here, and I'm like, I can't see a damn thing. It's like listening to the radio. What's Hulk Hogan gonna do?
Dude,
I'm familiar.
That's how I witnessed Goldberg's streak getting broken.
But yeah, keep going.
Yeah, so my dad was always like a big, huge wrestling fan, and he would always have it on. I remember watching like Saturday Night's Main Event on Saturdays because that was on regular TV, and that was back in the day when you had to turn the channel with the knob on the TVs back in the day,
Yeah.
And he really got me into wrestling. I remember my first memories of wrestling was like Sting, WCW, Sting, and Vader, Lex Luger. Those are really my first real memories. And then when we went over to WWF, my first real memory was the Ultimate Warrior. Hogan was pretty popular, but it wasn't 80s. I was born in 85, so I really didn't catch him during that time. But Bret Hart was my first real big wrestler that I really grew up with during my time. So it was just bonding with my dad and with my uncles, and every time there was a pay-per-view, they would come over. We would order pizza. You know what I mean? And it was a good time. It was a good time. In elementary school, it was the whole, DX and NWO. That was kind of the thing. We're all kind of the same age. So that was the big thing in elementary school. So I remember in elementary school, we had a group of friends who were real big NWOs. And then the other group of friends was all up in DX, giving everybody the cross chop, getting in trouble by our teachers by telling everybody to suck it, And yeah, it just grew over time. And then, like I said, we'd go to my, I remember the first event I can remember going to was a WCW event. And I actually watched a cage match with Steve Austin when he was stunning Steve Austin.
Ooh, nice.
And he actually took a bump from the top of the cage. He was doing coming off the cage, I believe I don't know if it was Rick Rude or Sting, if I remember correctly. And he took a bump off the top of the cage and he landed on both of his knees. Crazy. So I think that's kind of where his knee braces kind of started, But this was back when it was the Allstate Arena. When I used to go to the Allstate Arena, and then the UIC Pavilion is where WCW used to come.
It's currently the Allstate Arena.
Rosemont Horizon.
Rosemont Horizon.
Yeah, it was the Rosemont Horizon, and we seen a lot of stuff at the UIC Pavilion too, over in UIC. So that's kind of what got me started into wrestling.
Nice. Yeah, for me it was my uncle Ray. So he grew up in watching wrestling like 70s, 80s, like prime Ric Flair, Von Erichs, the Freebirds. His favorite was Chris Von Erich. Had a good super kick. He said it was better than Shawn Michaels any day of the week. That the way he popped that noise, like that was the best super kick. But so I'd watch him watch it, and I'm like, I really like this. So if you know anything about Round Lake, there was the family video, but then they had a dollar video.
Yeah.
And dollar video is where I went to go get pay-per-views. I would just rent pay-per-views and watch them over and over again. Like every Friday I'd rent a pay-per-view and I'd watch it till the tape ran out all week. But yeah,
Be
I was
kind, rewind.
Oh yeah. I don't know. I hope I rewound. I was young, but yeah, I remember the first pay-per-view I rented that I fell in love was WrestleMania 6, Ultimate Warrior versus Hulk Hogan. That was just like, and now it's like, that was a good match for what it was. It's not like spectacular, but back then I was blown away by this, like title for title, like it was just crazy. And then, but I became more of a WCW guy, and then, started WWF with the Attitude Era. But then there's a time where I fell off of wrestling for many years. I just stopped watching, and, started working when I was 16, got friends, the gig, right? But then I think I came back to watch it around WrestleMania 25 is when I fell back in love with it. Perfect timing for Shawn Michaels, Undertaker, and all that good stuff, right?
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty much my history. So, it all started with my uncle.
So we all have times where we fell out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, mine was definitely during high school when it wasn't the cool thing to do anymore. And then
as soon as WCW got bought, and then it's like, okay.
So
that war's over.
I remember just one day randomly just flipping channels, and then I flip it onto Raw, and I see Goldberg just spearing like Batista, and I'm like, okay, I'll watch it until the commercial comes on, and then I'll keep flipping channels. It never flipped.
Yeah.
And I fell back in love, and here we are now.
Yeah. You had your falling out moment, Alexis?
Yeah, I kind of stopped watching. I watched through high school, and as I got older, but I stopped watching like right around the CM Punk era, when his whole era was kind of going down. I wasn't really watching. Life gets in the way. You're doing other stuff. You're working, so I really didn't catch a lot of that. Dolph Ziggler, I didn't catch. I caught some of John Cena's time. He was so long. I think I kind of caught like the beginning of it and kind of like the end of it. I really didn't catch that middle too much. So I kind of fell off for a little bit there, and then I think I got back into it maybe around 2016. I think right around 2016 is when I got back into it. I got my own place. Finally I got cable again, so I was able to watch Raw. I was able to watch SmackDown. And then I started watching like some TNA at that time. Before it was Impact Wrestling, it was TNA. Because some of my favorites growing up were Sting. He was one of my favorites growing up. So once I seen that he was at in TNA, I started watching some TNA, and it kind of just continued ever since. I've been a fan ever since. I remember when I had my son, I was watching NXT when Bobby Roode was the champ, when Glorious Bobby Roode was the champ.
Yeah.
And really got into NXT for a while. Basically NXT was the best wrestling programming for a long time.
Yes,
especially those pay-per-views.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't really get to watch like the Seth Rollins. I didn't see a whole bunch of Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose in NXT. I kind of caught them when they became the Shield. So I think right around when like Finn Balor, I believe, was the champ in NXT is kind of when I got like kind of back into the whole wrestling deal.
Okay.
Yeah, I never really watched a lot of NXT, and I mean I would watch glimpses of it, right? But the one memory I have that I love from NXT is when Sami Zayn won the NXT title, and Kevin Owens just obliterates him, and I was like, wow, this is crazy. So yeah, but other than that, I never really.
That was Kevin Owens' NXT debut too.
Yeah. Yeah, and he's like celebrating. It's this happy moment. They're crying, and then boom, like apron power bomb. And that move, by the way, is so vicious looking. I'm like, oh, he's paralyzed. That's it. He's done. He's done.
I mean,
But,
Ezekiel's still out because of it.
yeah. Ezekiel or Elias, either one. Yeah. Okay. So, but other than that, like we did a little history lesson. Now I thought that every week we should do like a top 5 list. I picked 2, and I didn't even tell you guys about it, because I think it'd just be fun to just think about it while we're on here. So how about top 5 of our favorite finishers? So we'll go one at a time. We'll start with MVP. I'm putting you on the spot.
Oh. All right, so no particular order?
No particular order, just your top 5 favorite finishers.
I'm going to have to go with Goldberg's spear.
Why that one over anyone else?
So I did watch one time like a video on like the different spears. Like in his prime, Goldberg lifted up the guy as he was tackling them.
Oh yeah,
it was just so impactful. I mean, it was legit because he was a football player, so he would like legit run them over. And I mean, all right. So if you see the gore, like back when Rhino was in his prime, he would just go. That would probably be the hardest spear, but then like sometimes he looked like he would DDT himself doing it.
Oh yeah.
But I don't know. For me, Goldberg's spear.
Honorable mention, real quick. One of the moves that I've seen lately is not on like any thought of mine of like top 5 favorite, but Braun Breaker when he spears someone off the rope. Yeah. Bruh. That looks so vicious. I can't even. But okay, Alexis, one of your favorite finishers.
I'm gonna kind of throw it back here. So when WCW Revenge came out, Booker T was the hotness, right? And the move that I love that I would always do with him was one of my favorite all-time finishers was the Harlem Hangover.
That's a great move, yeah.
Which is the where he does the somersault off the top rope and then hits him with the leg drop.
Yeah.
I just always thought that was just a super super cool move, and I always played with Booker T in Revenge just to be able to do the Harlem Hangover because there was no creative player like in Revenge. You had to play with who you had. So, I think one of the ones that just pops in my head right away that I always remember, Harlem Hangover.
That is a great move. If I have to go with one, just because I loved Scott Hall and the way he made it look so smooth, I got to go Razor's Edge.
Nice.
Love the Razor's Edge. Just the way he'd hold him up, he'd just look around and just elegantly just slams him down. I'm like, oh, that's a great move. So yeah, I got to go Razor's Edge.
R.I.P. Scott Hall.
Yeah, R.I.P. MVP, what you got?
Okay, so for me, I don't refer to this as the sharpshooter. I refer to it as the Scorpion Deathlock.
Yeah,
because that's what it is. Like you go back in the history, like I think he's even said in an interview, Conan taught him how to do the Scorpion Deathlock.
Yep, I remember that.
So for me, the Scorpion Deathlock.
How about you, Alexis? Who went number 2?
Number 2. All right. The Walls of Jericho, but when it used to be the Lion Tamer.
Yeah. With the
Lion
knee on the head,
Tamer, where the guy was pretty much like upright and he had his knee on his head. Mm-hmm. That was just always one of my favorite submission move finishers. When I seen it, I was like, "Oh, that just looks so gnarly." So, since we're going with submission moves, I think mine would probably be the Lion Tamer.
I like that. You're gonna find the reason for my next one interesting. I'm going the pedigree. I just love the pedigree, but I saw a picture and it dawned on me, like, how did I never notice this? When he holds the guy ready for the pedigree, they look like the shape, the H. And his name is Triple H.
Oh,
And
okay.
it looks like an H. I'm like,
Yeah,
that is
for sure.
amazing. But no, the pedigree just is always one of my favorite. Just you can hit it, boom, over. You know, like I love the pedigree.
And you can hit it on everybody too.
Yep. Big
Which is
Show, everybody. Although it looks better when he does it on the smaller guys like Rey Mysterio. It looks way more vicious. But what about you, MVP?
3. I would have to go, again, not in any particular order. I just think this is one of the prettiest moves. The shooting star press.
That's a nice one. I forgot about that one.
The Billy Kidman shooting
The
star.
Billy Kidman shooting star press.
Yeah.
And then how imperfect he was. He'd always land it crooked.
Yeah.
But I didn't care because it always looked amazing to me. That front going backflip. Oh man.
Yeah, no, I like that. What about you, Alexis?
All right, one of my I know a lot of people talk about it's not a finisher because there's really not a whole lot of impact. One of my all-time favorites, the People's Elbow.
Yeah.
The Rock's one of my all-time favorites, and when he takes off that elbow pad and he just throws it into the crowd, man, it was just awesome. So the People's Elbow for me is definitely one of my guilty pleasures there as far as finishers.
My favorite People's Elbow is the one on Ric Flair when he does the strut and then hits the elbow. That was the funniest shit I've ever seen.
You want to know you ever seen the People's Elbow that I like on SmackDown where he's in the...
does he slide?
Yeah. People's Elbow. When he's in his slacks and the shoes.
Yep.
That's probably my favorite People's Elbow.
Nice. Yeah. I'm going to throw it back a little bit for you guys. Maybe you forgot about this move. I don't know. The Famouser by Billy Gunn.
Oh,
I like
nice.
the Famouser. That's a great move.
Shout out to the Acclaimed.
And no reason for it. Just the way it looked. I'm like, I like that move. That's one of my favorite moves to see him hit. So
that's an awesome move.
It's a great move.
Yeah.
MVP.
I'd have to go with the Diamond Cutter.
Nice.
You talk about Randy Orton hitting the RKO out of nowhere. DDP would hit it out of nowhere.
Yeah. No, I like when he would like spin the guy around and just in one move spin him and just hit him with it. Yeah. That was always good.
I think that had so many iterations, of the Diamond Cutter, which was crazy. I remember when he was hot, like he was the hottest thing in wrestling. Mm-hmm. And that Diamond Cutter, I remember in another one in WCW Revenge, you can hit the Diamond Cutter out the turnbuckle, off the ropes, just anywhere. Now, Diamond Cutter is definitely a good one for sure.
What about you, Alexis? Number 4.
All right, so I'm gonna go with another top rope, and the first person I've ever seen do it was Too Cold Scorpio in WCW.
450.
The 450 split.
Yeah, that was a cool move.
He actually did it against Chris Benoit. Chris Benoit versus Too Cold Scorpio. That was actually one of the first matches I ever remember watching in WCW, and that's just a sick move. Yeah, I know Ricochet does like the 780 or whatever, and everybody does the 450 now. But that was the first time I ever seen it, and I had never seen it before. And I just think Too Cold Scorpio, his was the best because his was the first one I've ever seen. So, so yeah, the 450 Too Cold Scorpio.
I like that. My last two are going to be very copy and paste. I'm not going to surprise anyone, but in no specific order. But my number 4, Tombstone Pile Driver, Undertaker. Great move. Unless you're Hulk Hogan and then you fake being injured from it. But other than that, it's a great move, So, what about you, MVP?
Right, so 5. So one of my favorite wrestlers of all time was Dean Malenko,
I know where that's
Ooh,
going.
the Texas Cloverleaf.
the
Yep.
Cloverleaf.
I remember,
Man of 1,000 holds.
we would all do like backyard wrestling or living room wrestling. I remember that it was for me. It was like the easiest thing to put on. So that would always be my like finish, the Texas Cloverleaf.
It's a great move. That's throwing it back. I forgot about that one. I should have said that one. What about you, Alexis?
Well, I could be biased. I could be biased. Macho Man's my favorite.
It's
So,
no wrong answers here.
there's something that I would do on my sister, on my cousins, all the time jumping on the bed. It's the elbow drop from the top rope, man. I mean, I just love that move. And it was actually like a finisher.
Yeah.
So it's just a move that I just remember doing all the time growing up, and it just brings a whole lot of great memories of me doing it, and that's probably gonna round out my top five. I got three top rope moves, which is kind of surprising.
Yeah, I like that. So, before I tell you my last one here, when I was young at my grandma's house, I like Macho Man too because I was watching WrestleMania 3, 4, 5. So I would take all the couch cushions off the couch and put them on the floor, and I'd stand on the couch, the arm of the couch, and I'd put my arms in there. I'd drive that elbow down the.
Dude, it was so awesome.
Yeah, I remember doing that. That was a good move. Last one, arguably one of my top 2 wrestlers of all time. Sweet Chin Music, Shawn Michaels. Gotta go Sweet Chin Music. So
I'd have to disagree with your uncle and say Shawn Michaels has the best super kick.
yeah, what was his name, Matt? Was it? Am I right? Chris Von Erich. He was in WCW too. Chris Adams.
Harry?
Chris Adams. That's what it is.
Gentleman Chris Adams,
Yeah, Chris Adams. He said had the best super
Stone
kick.
Cold Steve Austin's trainer.
Yeah. But yeah, so then we're gonna do one more top 5 list because we still got a little time here. We're good.
I need to get an honorable mention for the finisher.
Oh, is it another top rope?
No, it's not a top. It's not a top roper, and I think I mentioned it a couple of podcasts ago. I don't think anybody should ever kick out of it. The Styles Clash.
Yeah.
That move just looks so crazy.
Yeah.
And they shouldn't kick out of it because the way he hits it and then rolls him over into the pin.
Never.
Yeah.
You should never ever hit out of it. I wanted to give AJ Styles an honorable mention on that one. The Styles Clash.
Anything he does, like that phenomenal forearm looks amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. AJ Styles is he doesn't get a lot of the attention he should get. Like, I think he should be a main eventer, and he falls into the mid card a lot. And I'm like, no, you're wasting AJ Styles. Technically, I mean, how many more years does he have? He's over 40 now.
Yeah.
So, I mean, utilize him now before he retires, But, all right, the next top 5 list, this might spark a little debate. Maybe, I don't know. Top 5 entrance music.
Ooh, it's a good one.
So, let's flip the script. We'll start with Alexis, then MVP, then me. Go ahead, Alexis.
All right. This is another one where when I made my creative player No Mercy.
No.
When I made the creative player No Mercy, I had this entrance music, and it's there it is. It's Break Down the Walls with Chris Jericho.
Mm-hmm.
That entrance music is just and the countdown.
Mm-hmm.
He made his debut in Chi-Town too.
Yep.
During the Rock's promo.
Oh yeah.
What a way to debut too! You interrupt the Rock,
dude.
Wow.
I know. Yeah.
And fun fact: I was in Vegas during that too.
Really?
Yes, I remember watching that from a hotel room.
Yeah, that's good. What about you, MVP?
Randy Orton voices.
That's
clutch. That is a great
song. I remember when he first came out to it. I'm like, what is this song? I'm like, yo, Orton got some new music. And since then, it's been on my gym playlist.
Now, is that a song by an artist, or did they make that specifically for him?
I think they outsource artists,
Oh, okay.
and then they totally his Viper character.
Yeah, that's one of those songs that you don't have to change either.
Yeah,
It can stay the same forever.
Mm-hmm. So that says forever, and that's one. You know what? I'll even say it's my favorite theme.
Well, I kind of hate you because in my head I'm like, I gotta go voices. You know why? Because I like when the lights hit when it's like, bang,
Yeah.
bang, and the lights like. So now I gotta change it. I'm gonna
Yeah,
go.
you don't have to.
No, I'm going to because I want to be different. And I'm gonna go this one, the Four Horsemen entrance music.
Oh, or so which one?
When you hear like the horses gallop, and then
no, but there's like two like I remember WCW remixed it when they reformed it in '98
when it was like Flair, Arn Anderson, Benoit.
Okay.
Yeah, that music, like the horses galloped, and that like just it sounds like Desperados coming to a war or something like that. I like that, like the way the guitar hits.
You guys want to hear something? Guys want to know something?
What's that?
I have no idea what entrance song you're talking about right now.
I'll send it to you after this.
Are we gonna get the copyright strikes if we play it?
We don't want to get broke down for the copyrights now.
No, I hear you. Okay.
No, but I know what you're talking about. Their music, like the second iteration of their music, I really liked. The first one for me just sounded like cheap porn music.
Yeah. Well, it was, but okay. Alexis, go ahead. Number 2.
Man, another one that I love that is probably at one of everybody's favorite theme songs is the Stone Cold Glass Break, man. You hear that Stone Cold Glass Break, and it does, and dude, the crowd went wild. But the iteration that I really, really like was the one that Disturbed made for him.
Yes,
that's the one that I really
that one was so dope.
Yeah, a lot of people don't like that one, but the Disturbed Stone Cold Steve Austin, I just love that. I just love that one.
Yep. I remember when he first came out to it. It's like he was returning from neck surgery.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Yep.
And then I think he was encountering like every McMahon. He'd stun him, and then it'd play again, and then cut. He stunned someone else, and then it'd play again.
Yeah.
He had played like 5 times. I'm like, this is dope music.
Yeah. You stole one of mine, but well, we're all gonna have a lot of the same ones. Go ahead, MVP. Number 2.
Cult of Personality.
Man, are we all on the same page here? Well, I want to be different, but I gotta like.
It was. I was 3 when that song came out, so I don't remember it at all. But when you heard those guitar riffs on Monday night after Money in the Bank, and you didn't know who it was, and then you saw CM Punk there, you're just like, whoa, this is something big happening.
That is one of my favorite moments in wrestling, at least in the 2010s, is that Cena wins the belt from Mysterio, and then he hears the music, and
that's not Alberto.
That's not Alberto.
That's not
Alberto won the Money in the Bank. That's not Del Rio, right? It's not Alberto. And then CM Punk walks out, and the best part for me. Now I'm getting into like a whole story, but when CM Punk comes in the ring and Cena says the champ is here, and he holds his belt up, but then Punk holds his up higher, and then Cena acknowledges it like. That's right. He is the true champion. Like, and then he leaves. That is perfectly written. That is how it should have been. But no, that music is solid. I like that music too. Now that you took 2 of mine, I got to really dig deep here. My Time by Triple H.
Yes, that was going to be my next one.
My Time. My Time. That is a great one. Like, and I like all his music was good. King of Kings, and
I think he has the best. I think he has the best. Like variety of music, they were all good.
Yeah.
All of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, My Time is definitely.
Well, I mean, he had the luxury of having Motorhead do his last two.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, My Time is solid. All right, Alexis, number 3.
Glorious Domination. Bobby Roode. Dude. Glorious. I will give in. I will give in.
Till I'm victorious.
Dude, that song, that'll forever be one of it. That is in. I actually have that downloaded on my Apple Podcast. One of the many wrestling songs I have. But that song is just awesome, dude. Just and it's really not a lot to it. It's just I don't know. And then the way Bobby Roode came out with the spotlight on him.
Oh yeah.
And then he had the little machine kind of like turning him.
Yeah.
Glorious Domination, man. Just one of my all-time favorites, and it's really not too old. It's fairly new, but it's gonna hold up, I think, forever.
Am I mistaken, or do I remember this? That he came out to an entrance to that song at maybe Mania, and he had like the choir.
Yes.
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 That was
Yes.
amazing.
Yes.
Yeah, I like that one. MVP, you're up.
NWO Black and White.
Solid choice.
Definitely solid for sure.
Yeah. Although I do like the Hulk Hogan Black and White one, the Jimi Hendrix.
Oh.
a good one.
Love
But
Child.
Yeah.
I'm not picking that one. I just like that one. You just
No,
reminded me of it.
it's good, but
Um,
just you heard, like, if you watch Nitro, you heard that at least 6 times a night.
You hear that guitar riff, you already
Yeah.
know.
Wow, wow, wow.
Oh.
And he comes out playing the belt.
Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
solid. I'm gonna go just because of my memory when I was a kid. Like, it's nothing special, but I just knew shit was getting real when that music came on during the streak. Goldberg,
Yeah.
when like he'd bang his head into the locker and he's coming out and they're like, oh, he's 98-0. Like, you just knew like someone's about to get wrecked. Like, they're about to wreck somebody.
You actually took one of mine.
The Goldberg. And then
Yeah.
like as you get older in WWE, it's like, okay, like it's there, but like when I was
Oh
a kid,
no!
that
I
WCW
still feel it.
different.
I still feel it, man.
Yeah. So
I still
what,
feel it.
where are you going with Alexis number? This is what, number 4?
Yeah, no.
This one's probably not on anybody's list, but I used to just get hyped when I heard this song as I knew who was coming out. Was Psycho Sid.
Oh,
Psycho Sid's entrance.
You're
when
talking
he
about like
used
WrestleMania 10,
Yeah,
11
when he
area,
used to go
11.
yeah.
But he used to start off with like that.
He'd look around.
Yeah, who's the man? And when he used to have the SID over him when he used to come into the ring and he used to be like the fireworks
Yeah.
going on it, dude. I'm a huge Psycho Sid mark, and that music. I just always love that damn music, dude. Another one that's on my playlist on a pretty regular basis for sure.
Yeah.
What about you, MVP?
We're had to dig deep for these last ones, and not just pick because of what have you done for me lately.
Right.
'Cause I think we all want to pick Kingdom for Cody Rhodes' Kingdom, but I'll go like end of WCW. Sting's theme, Seek and Destroy by Metallica.
Oh yeah.
Ooh, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Was that Goldberg or Sting?
That was Sting.
Goldberg
That was
had one
Crow's
too.
thing.
Goldberg had a different version of music. He had from Megadeth or
Yes,
Yeah.
Crush 'em.
yeah, Crush 'em was amazing. Ooh, that might be Crush 'em was solid. Yeah, I like that one.
But
Yeah, that's a solid one.
But Seek and Destroy. They didn't do the album theme for the album version for Sting. I think they did like a one live from like Woodstock version for his entrance music.
Yeah.
But like the prelude to them just playing the theme was just like thunder crashing.
Mm.
But yeah,
Yeah.
that like his last music in WCW Sting.
For my 4th one, I don't even know how none of us have thought of this one till now. Edge. On this day.
Metalingus.
That is just And then when he holds up his hands in the fireworks, whoa, like
That was a good one.
I love that
was a
song.
good one. Yeah.
that actually is on my workout playlist. Well, when I work out, you can clearly see I don't, but if I do, it's in there. Alexis, go ahead. Last one.
Man, it's only get one. Well, I need to have an auto mention on on another one. There's a couple of ones that I really, really like, but I love the Walk for RVD and ECW.
Yes.
That was just another one. Oh yeah. So I really loved Walk by RVD ECW. That's definitely on one of my top choices for sure.
That's solid.
So yeah, now I didn't even think ECW, but one of my honorable mentions would be Man in a Box for Tommy Dreamer's theme.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
What was the Sandman's?
Enter Sandman.
Enter Sandman, right? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Duh. That was another really, really good one that I liked in ECW.
So
That's a banger.
So for me, my favorite wrestling themes, I would play it and then walk.
Yeah.
My last one would be the Nexus theme.
That's a solid one.
I don't know if you were watching wrestling then.
Yeah, see, I wasn't watching during the Nexus.
No, I was. How did it go again? It was it's on the tip of my tongue. How did it start? It was
Walk alone.
Yeah.
Oh my.
Do you know the story of Nexus though?
Yes, I do know. I do know the story of Nexus. Yes,
But that Raw,
that was
when
like
they
Wade
come
Barrett
out-
and Dolph
Yeah.
Ziggler and all of them, right?
Yeah, we got 5 seconds. Like we could play stuff for 5 seconds.
I'll put WWE as a credit holder. We're no liability or responsibility of this music, but
No,
just the way it hit.
Alexis has to hear this because the way it hits, it's,
in the way all 8 walk out in unison,
Yeah,
and you hear
yes.
that, bruh,
yeah. Oh.
throw it away.
All right, so I'll give you 5 seconds. All right, that's 5.
All right.
But you got to hear it longer than that because
Yeah,
it's way better. But
yeah. The song is incredible.
you know what? I'm gonna go with this one because you guys took all my good ones. But I gotta go Shield. Sierra Hotel India,
no.
Ligament out the Shield, dun, dun. And then they walk through the crowd. That's just like,
No,
and they're
I'm
all dressed like that.
We're talking about the Shield version, not the one
Yes.
that Roman Reigns had.
No. No.
So,
For me,
I-
Roman Reigns didn't exist from when the Shield ended until the Tribal Chief because he was just figuring stuff out.
the big dog.
Yeah. Actually, I don't mind his music now. The way that Mania entrance was,
No, his
They all
music
play the
now is
pianos.
really good.
it's like final boss music.
Final
One
boss
of you guys said
music.
that before, but yeah. So yeah, I'll go with. Did I pick? What did I just say?
The
Shield. Yeah. Okay. We're
No,
good.
all right. So the Shield version, there's certain parts where if you have a really good system, that bass just like pumps,
Yeah. No.
and
It does.
you don't feel the same. You don't get that same thing when you hear Roman Reigns' version.
Ooh, honorable mention. This is why I like talking just randomly because it just pops in my head.
Yeah.
What about the original Sheamus?
It's a shameful thing. Lobster head.
Yeah.
Too many lines.
That is that music. It felt like a Celtic warrior music is what it felt
Yeah.
like. I like that. And he got
You-
pushed hard, beat Cena in that tables match. I'm
Oh,
like,
yeah.
he just got here. But
You want, dude? Want to know one of my dad's favorite entrance music was
what's that?
Gold Dust.
For
That
the
music,
theatrics? Yeah.
and with the entrance, that
Yeah.
Gold Dust music, my dad just loved that damn Gold Dust music.
When he was with Marlena, right?
Yeah.
Marlena in her director's chair.
Oh yeah. Gold Dust.
her cigar.
And her cigar. Yeah, I'm
And there's so
hoping
many
we're
good-
not talking about the version with Luna Vachon and the
No,
Gag
no,
Ball
no.
and-
Yeah.
The artist formerly known.
There's so many good ones too. Like we could talk. We could probably talk about next time, like tag teams. But Axe and Smash, the demolition one. Oh man, that was here comes the smash. And
Yeah.
yeah, man, that was awesome too.
No, now you're gonna make me talk about LOD.
Oh yeah.
And then the spikes on their shoulders. Good
Oh
God.
yeah,
that's-
dude.
Here, I have an obscure one, only because I think it's hilarious.
Raven's flock. No, just kidding.
The American males.
Oh my.
No, all right,
That is
so
a throwback.
so
The
all right,
American males, who's that?
Marcus Bagwell.
Marcus
and-
Bagwell and Scotty Riggs.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
The
the-
American man.
no, all right. So it starts off with like a really hard like rock riff. It's like, I'm like, yo, some stuff's about to go down there, and then all of a sudden you hear American males,
Yeah.
American.
Yeah, dude. We'll bring up a lot of. I have a lot of top fives that I wrote out that I want to talk about, but yeah, no, American males. What a wow!
that's a
mind with
super
that one.
throwback right there.
Yeah,
That's before he was in the tag team Vicious and Delicious with Scott Norton.
yeah.
That's another.
That's
throwback.
WCW right there.
WCW.
Oh yeah, Vicious and Delicious. Yeah, but
That just reminds me when he used to wear that big old top hat. When Marcus Bagwell used to wear that big old top hat when he was in the NWO.
yeah. What do you guys want to do? You want to do the pay-per-view game? Because I got
Sure.
a good one. I got a
Okay.
good one.
Go
So
for it.
Yeah, let's do it.
I did not write out the matches; they're on my phone. So here's the throwback part of it. 2 of the matches were on Sunday Night Heat before the pay-per-view.
Okay, I remember that.
Yep. So Raven defeated Val Venus Sunday Night Heat, and the Holly Cousins, Hardcore and Crash, defeated Kaientai, Taka Michinoku, and Funaki. So that shows you about the year. So
Indeed.
yeah, and
Evil.
William Regal defeated Rikishi too on Sunday Night Heat.
Okay.
One match was 3 Stages of Hell. Winner gets Angle's Olympic gold medal. Kurt Angle defeats Chris Benoit 2-1. The WWF Hardcore Championship Triple Threat Hardcore match. Rhino defeated Big Show and Test to retain the title.
Damn test.
Women's Championship, China defeated Lita. The Intercontinental Championship chain match, Kane defeated Triple H to win the belt. The number 1 contenders, WWF World Tag Team Championship Tag Team Turmoil, Chris Jericho and Chris Benoit defeated the Dudley Boys, Edge and Christian, the Hardy Boys, the APA, X Factor, which was X-Pac and Just Incredible, and the Radicals, Dean Malenko and Perry Saturn.
Damn, how many tag teams was that?
It was a tag team turmoil match. It was crazy.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And then the main event, WWF Championship No Holds Barred match. Stone Cold Steve Austin defeated The Undertaker to retain the title. Any guess on the year?
2002.
Okay. What about you, Alexis? Any guess? Maybe this is the time you fell out. Who knows? Maybe you remember. I don't know.
You said Austin Undertaker was the main event?
Yeah, Austin defeated The Undertaker to retain the title in a no holds barred match.
Oh, that sounds like 99 or 2000 to me.
When I tell you the pay-per-view, you'll remember the poster of it too. The
All right,
poster of the
so-
event.
Unforgiven 2002. Here's my logic. 2001 is when WCW got bought out.
Yep.
And there's a lot of names on there that would have been in the alliance, but they're not facing off. It wasn't WWE versus WCW there, so I'm guessing this is after that. So that's my reasoning for 2002.
Yeah, the Radicals are in there too.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they would separate and then come back together when needed, and then X Factor. X
What a
Factor.
tag team.
Yeah.
X-Pac and Just Incredible, which is a great name, by the way. Just Incredible.
I'm guessing this is before Goldberg, so it wasn't 2003. So my guess is Unforgiven 2002.
That's a solid guess, but isn't it? Alexis?
No Way Out 2002.
It doesn't sound like a big four.
It's not a big four, but I'm telling you, when I tell it to you, the poster of the pay-per-view, you're gonna be like, I know exactly the pay-per-view. I know that billboard.
Is it Bad Blood 2002?
Nope. It is 2001.
Oh,
Towards
2001.
the end of it, but it's Judgment Day.
okay.
Judgment Day. Okay.
That's like Unforgiven 02. That's close to Judgment Day 01, but it's 2001 Judgment Day.
Okay.
Nice. That was
So-
close. Yeah, MVP's pretty good at this game. He's a lot better than I am.
Dude,
Watch a lot of wrestling.
I'm just telling you, he went to Vegas for school. He had me hold on to all his wrestling stuff, which, by the way, it was only customary. I held on to his big gold. It was the big gold. No, it was a spinner belt, the John Cena spinner belt, because he bought the replica of that, and I had to pin him to win it so I could hold on to it till he got back, which I did. But no, oh god, where's I going with that? I get sidetracked, dude. Oh yeah, he had me hold all his wrestling stuff. He has DVDs on DVDs on DVDs of just all. This is before the WWE Network when you actually buy everything. And you even had that Kofi Kingston autograph belt.
Yep. Met him in Skokie.
Yeah, but yeah, no, he knows a lot about wrestling.
Yeah, I moved around a lot, as a kid. So I had a lot of wrestling figures and had all the belts and stuff that came out with the wrestling figures. But I moved around so much, man, that I lost stuff, gave stuff away. You know what I mean? So I wish I would have kept on to a lot of my wrestling stuff that I had, because I had a ton of it.
Right.
I even had wrestling buddies.
No, my favorite thing about when I was a kid is wrestling figures. Every day I'd wake up, I'd pull out my big tub of wrestling figures, and I'd have my own pay-per-views. No ring or anything, just so everything was like a hardcore match. Like I'd do them on the stairs of the house.
Yeah.
At one time, The Rock fell down the stairs, and I just played it off like it was supposed to happen. I'm like, oh my god, he's gonna lose the title. But, yeah,
He's broken in half.
Literally.
Yeah. How do you learn to fall off a 20-foot ladder?
Oh, that dog just chewed off his leg.
Dude, that's another conversation for another podcast. The shit that JR would say. Just so he'd cuss out like Austin or Triple H. Damn you, Triple H.
Damn you to hell.
Yeah. So, what else you guys got? This is a good episode.
So I want to say that. So we're a wrestling podcast that mainly focuses on WWE. I really want to we've mentioned this before. I really want to AEW, and for the most part I do, but it just reminds me so much of the latter days of WCW. So this past Wednesday on Dynamite, so I guess they're starting a program with MJF and Adam Cole.
Mm-hmm. Bye.
Yeah, so they had MJF cutting a promo on Adam Cole, which was word for word the same promo that Adam Cole hit on Karrion Kross
right?
in NXT. And I'm like, I mean, all right, it is a good promo, but do you really need to do it word for word?
Yeah, I don't know if you're trolling him at that point or if you're actually. MJF is just one of those people that I don't think he really cares what he says because he's just so in his heel mode, even outside of wrestling. He's just become this person that I don't think he really cares. He's like, I'll do whatever I want to do. Whatever.
No, but you're doing this against Adam Cole.
Right.
And Adam Cole can hold his own on the microphone.
For sure, and in the ring.
Yeah.
Everybody really talks this whole big thing about MJF, and yeah, he can cut a good promo. To me, and Travis, I talk to Larson about this all the time because he's a big MJF mark. MJF just sounds like a big crybaby to me. He's always whining. He's always crying. How he's the best, and I deserve this, and I deserve that. And I guess that's good because you're supposed to not like a heel, right? So he's doing good work. Don't get me wrong. And he deserves the title, and he's improved from the little bit that I've seen. But I've always seen him as a crybaby.
He reminds me of any star in the later WCW that just thought that like this company can't function without me. So you never know what you're gonna get with him. Maybe let's say they want to put the title on Cole. Does MJF do the job and drop it, or does he pull some shit that Hogan would have done? With Jeff Jarrett at Bash at the Beach. Like, no, I'm gonna pull my card and I'm not losing. Like, I don't know what you're gonna get with MJF. He's so much that person now, even outside of wrestling, that he could sabotage something to say, you know what, wrestling ain't anything without me. So yeah, I sabotaged that. He's a wild card. I don't know what you're gonna give him.
So here's the thing. I believe that this title reign has really exposed him. And I went into his title reign. I legit liked him. It really. I really don't think he's. I really don't think he's shit anymore. So I think the ratings haven't been all too good during his championship reign. I mean, they had to go and call CM Punk to come work again,
Yeah, I mean, this is what you said. Like, I don't really like AEW because they hoard stars that they don't do anything with. Keith Lee, for example, should be doing a lot bigger things than he's been given. However, I have kind of high hopes because they're going to start this new program, Collision, that maybe they do their own brand split. I think is what they're going to do, and you can utilize a lot more of these wrestlers.
Yeah,
but it is becoming like I just don't know the process. They're like what they're trying to accomplish. It feels like they just throw stuff together willy nilly and just see what sticks to the wall. And I don't know. I'm not a fan.
Well, see, I think what it is with AEW is that they have their niche, right? They have the 18 to the 35 guys, and the trick and why WWE does so well with what they do is that they cater to the kids too.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like WWE doesn't. I wish they would use more color, but I like that they don't use it all the time because you got a lot of kids watching. And when you're watching AEW, you're looking at like bloodbaths.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And not a lot of people want to see that on a Friday night or on a Wednesday night when they're flipping through channels with their kids. You know what I mean?
That's a good point. For me, like, if you're going to show blood, like, for me, as an adult, like, it's got to be a moment that, like, needs it.
Right.
Where you're like, okay, for example, Mick Foley gets thrown off the cage. I expect to see something because, like, it makes it more real. But, yeah, you don't have to, like, punch someone just to show blood all the time. And it's like, okay, it takes away from, like, when it really does happen. Like, I just see it all the time. And I'm desensitized to it,
No, but not to mention, they do it on free television all the time.
Yep.
If they did it on pay-per-view all the time, that'd be different.
Right.
They do it so much on free TV, it's become homogenized.
But that's the thing too. Do you need blood to sell the match? Because how many matches have we seen in WWE recently that, like, Cody and Roman, that didn't need blood for it to be important. It's a good wrestled match with storytelling. That I think that the visual sometimes is one thing. If you need to have blood or whatever, for me, like, the story in the match is way more important than you don't have to show me blood to realize how important this match is. Just the story in it shows me enough how important this match is, You
got to know you got to know when to use it. Like Bret Hart, Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yeah.
You got to know when to use it. That's the perfect. It wasn't a ton of blood, but just enough to where he's losing blood and he passes out. Probably one of the best matches.
You see it on his teeth.
Right. Probably one of the best matches.
The line of it coming down the face while he's in a sharpshooter.
Perfect. And it was used perfectly, and I believe Brett bladed him for him, and those are the moments when you need it, And but I definitely agree. I would like to, talk a little bit more AEW. I got to watch a little bit more of it. I do catch it here and there. Like I said, I don't have cable. I have like the TNT stream, so I have to like make some time to try to catch up with it, but I'm down for talking some AEW for sure. Because a lot of the guys that I really like are on AEW right now.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Especially Adam Cole, baby. That's my guy, for sure. NXT, when he had the faction NXT, that's my guy.
Yeah. So, I think we transitioned this podcast into, like, no more recaps. We just talk wrestling. I like how this episode was. I had a couple pinpoints, but just talk wrestling.
Absolutely.
Look at all the throwback. I never knew coming into this episode I was going to talk about the American males. That's for sure. I had
For
no clue I was
sure.
talking about that.
For sure. I did not think the American males for sure. I didn't think I was going to talk about 2-Core Scorpio either.
True. So, all right. Anything else, guys? You good?
I think we're good, man. What do you guys think about the new titles before we go out for the women? Like them
Uh,
with the white straps?
You know, I kind of like how uniform it is. It makes them more important. It's
I agree.
They don't have to be the most beautiful thing. Like, yeah, they're replicas of the male title, but if the male titles are important, now the female titles look as
Okay.
important,
all
right?
right.
Yeah.
Agreed,
But
100%.
now,
You guys changed my mind.
yeah, because I think now Zayn and Owens are just patiently waiting for theirs now. It's
Mhm.
only fair they get new belts too. If you're gonna get rid of all the unification ones and just have new belts, then they should have a beautiful one too, like a gorgeous gold one or something. And
Or find a way to separate them. I'm still holding hope.
you don't have enough tag team talent to do that though. To have
Yeah,
two
but do you
champions-
really need your champions double dipping every week?
No, but you can have them just focused on like Raw for a month till that PLE, and then maybe a tag team on SmackDown, or they don't got to be on every single episode. But I think it would make them more important because you have so much more potential for different rivalries. But if you have two different champions, it's gonna be like, remember when his Usos against New Day, like every pay per view.
Those were bangers, though.
Of course they were, but it's like, is there anyone else?
Right.
Like, you know who did tag teams right? WCW. They did tag teams right. They had a lot of good tag teams. Because you had and they were tag teams that didn't break up and do their own single thing. They were tag team champions. It made that division feel very important, you know? The Blue Bloods,
Harlem Heat.
Harlem Heat, Steiner Brothers. Like, you know what I'm talking about? Like, uniform tag teams. Like, even old school WWE, the Rockers, the Hart Foundation. Now you have, like, Shinsuke and Cesaro. Like, no, that's not a tag team. You just threw two people together. Like, stop it.
Right. Sometimes that works, though. You know, the bar worked. The bar with Sheamus and Cesaro, that worked. You know, no one really thought, what are you doing putting these two guys together?
Right.
They ran with it, you know?
Yeah.
But I think they're... Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, like, Pretty Deadly. They're a new tag team that
Yep.
they're uniform. That's what I think the WWE's missing is, like, more uniform tag teams to come in, you know? That's just me, though.
And like you said, they don't have to... You don't have to showcase those guys every week. You know, you have a lot of people on that roster. You can give them a break. Like we talked about in the last podcast. You don't need to see Cody Rhodes every single week.
Yep.
You know, you don't need to see Sami Zayn and Owens every single week. You know,
I
so
agree.
you know we'll see what they do. But it looks like they're unifying the women's tag team titles though.
Yep.
So that seems that looks pretty cool. That looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
I don't really like the Ronda Baszler. I love to get a swerve and give it to those new girls and let them run with it.
Right.
Why not? Right?
Why not?
No, I
Why
hear you.
So
I think at this point, Ronda has go away heat.
Oh, yeah. Big time. Not like Dom Dom.
No.
But all right, guys. Yeah, this is episode 5 of Triple Threat Pro Wrestling Podcast. If you like what you see, comment. If you have your own comments on the top 5s we did, drop them down there. Let's see what you got to say. If you could think of any throwbacks that we didn't think of, you know, it'd be cool to see everyone else's opinion. So
If you think our picks absolutely sucked, let us hear them. I want to hear I want to see everything.
I never want to hear the American male suck, though. That was but, yeah, make sure you comment, like, subscribe. We're on YouTube, Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts. We're on Facebook, Instagram. We're everywhere. Just search up Jim and 10 Sports, and you'll see us. So until maybe this weekend, boys. Maybe we'll do a recap stuff this weekend or whatever. So
all right, sounds good.
all right. Peace out.
Peace out, fellas.